Hey, what's up, killers? It is your final girl Mel, and this is my killer podcast, and today we are looking back into the past. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, I am not only on YouTube, I'm also on Instagram, Letterboxd, TikTok, Twitter, and Patreon. I am also part of a Discord group called The Movie Room. Feel free to join me on all my socials. You are all welcome to join my killer family. Today, we're going to be looking back into the past, and by that, I mean the month of May and all the things that I watched, and my ratings and reviews, and will I recommend any of these to you? You guys like my shirt? This is my Burb shirt that I got from Fright Rags. This is serial killer Skip from the movie.
Who the heck ordered the blood shake?
If you guys have not checked out the Burbs line of t-shirts from Fright Rags, y'all on over there and check them out because they have some goodies, let me tell ya. Let's stop the chit chat and get into the reviews. First up, I watched Gone Girl. I've heard so much about this movie, and I actually bought the book because I wanted to read it first before I watched the movie. And then I just never got around to reading the book. I held on to it forever. And then I bought the movie, and then I still was waiting to watch the movie until I read the book. And then I could not find the time to read that damn book. So finally, I just decided I'm gonna watch the movie. I ended up thinking the movie was okay. It had some shocker parts in it that were worth the watch, but overall the story was just ridiculous. And I'm just not a Ben Affleck fan, I guess. There's just never been a Ben Affleck movie except for maybe The Accountant that I was like, wow, I really like that movie. I must own it. You know? I don't know. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I did like it. Will I ever go back and watch it again? Probably not. But there was a rumor that this movie heavily inspired A.H.'s performance in the Depp vs. Heard trial. So that was also another reason why I wanted to watch it, just to see. There were some things that were oddly similar, but whatever. Next up, I watched Benny and June. I went through a Johnny Depp all night, all day through the month of May, so you were going to see quite a few Johnny Depp movies pop up on this list because I did buy several, and I also ran through my whole collection of Depp movies. But I'd never seen Benny and June ever in my life, and I watched it this month, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars and a heart. It was a great movie, well acted. It was a little awkward too, though, because the Benny and June are brother and sister. He takes care of June because she can't really take care of herself, and then they meet Johnny Depp's character. I think his name is Sam. And then June and Sam kind of fall in love, I guess, but he's also quirky in a weird kind of off-putting way. So I don't know. Their relationship was it was just awkward through the whole movie. But by the time you get to the end, you do feel very heartwarmed by it, and it's very charming. So I do highly recommend checking it out. I got lots of feedback on that one. People really love it. Then I watched The Ninth Gate, also a Johnny Depp movie. You will see I gave it 2 stars and a heart. I do appreciate this movie. I do. However, I just remembered it being more suspenseful and more thrilling and more entertaining than I felt the second time around, you know. And I shouldn't say second time. I saw this movie a few times when I was younger, and then I was super excited to rewatch it. And I don't know, it just fell a little flat for me. It was a little boring this time. I don't know. I mean, I would recommend watching it if you just want to check it out to see, but if you want an entertaining watch and not feel like you wasted a bunch of your life, don't watch it. Then I watched Soap Dish. It has my man RDJ in it, who I absolutely love, and told myself I wanted to check out a lot of his movies that he did when he was younger, and I'm coming to find that he was just a really awkward actor when he was younger. I noticed in a lot of his movies they didn't really give him a lot of long dialogue. He has very short single word dialogues even sometimes. Sometimes he just makes noises. I don't know, it was really weird why that is. Of course, this one, he's just a smidge older than the ones I'd watched before, so his dialogue is quite extensive. But I did enjoy this movie. It was funny. It was more of a soap opera than I thought it was going to be, but I guess that's what it's technically supposed to be about, so maybe that's where they took the movie. Gave it 3 stars and a heart. I was entertained by it. Then I was on a plane headed to Hawaii. Waikiki, to be specific. And I just could not help myself but watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It was also free on the plane, which was awesome, but I did download it on my phone because I really did want to watch it. That movie takes place in Hawaii, and I was going to Hawaii, so I just had the urge to watch it. I love this movie. It's absolutely hilarious. I give it 4 stars and a heart. Jason Segel's just amazing. He's absolutely hilarious. I love pretty much everything that he's in. He can do no wrong for me. So this movie, it really hit me in the ways of comedy. It's just absolutely hilarious. I totally recommend this one 100%. Then I watched The Lost City. This is the new Sandra Bullock movie with Channing Tatum in it. I merely watched this one because I was also on a plane to Hawaii and had nothing else to do but watch movies, so I watched this one. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I was entertained by it. It was pretty funny. I feel like maybe upon rewatch I might give it more stars. I don't know. Just the longer this one sits with me, the more I do appreciate it, I guess. I don't know. It was fun. It was a fun, mindless, entertaining watch. So I recommend that one. And then also on the plane to Hawaii, I don't know if you guys realize how long the flights were to get to Hawaii from the Midwest. Just unsettlingly long. But when this movie came out, I heard nothing but great things about it. I wanted to watch it. And then I missed my window to get this physical release with the slipcover. So then I was just like, not going to watch it because I couldn't buy it. I don't know. Whatever. I downloaded it on my phone to watch it on the plane. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I really did like this one. It was actually really good. I'm actually considering changing that star rating to a 4 star and a heart situation because this movie was really good. It takes you a minute to get into the main guy, though. The main character and his personality, like, it's off-putting at first because you're just like, why the fuck is he acting that way? Like, be normal, you know? But then as you go through the movie, you kind of start getting a feel for his personality and why he's acting like that. And then by the end of the movie, you are appreciating all the humor in the things that he's doing. And then by the end of the movie, you're just kind of like, damn, that sucks. But anyway, I'm going to update that to 4 stars and a heart because I do actually really enjoy this movie and I am looking forward to rechecking it out, doing a rewatch on it because the ending didn't end quite how I thought it was gonna. Next up, while we were in Hawaii, I watched Choose or Die. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. This was an entertaining watch, but game of life or death, and they have to choose one thing or the other or they will die, and that's how the movie, I don't know. Watch it if you want. It was entertaining enough for one watch. I do probably need to rewatch it, though, because I was half sleeping and half not sleeping when I was watching it. Next up, I watched The Bubble. I believe this one is on Netflix. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. This one is actually a lot funnier than I thought it was. This was kind of like that comedy made during the pandemic where they're trying to get this movie made and having to dance around all the COVID restrictions and stuff like that. And it ended up being a good, a real funny watch, entertaining as all get out. Next up, on the way home from Hawaii, I watched West Side Story. The flights on the way back were not as good as the flight on the way there, just because we had a couple more layovers, so they weren't as big of planes, so our choices and movies weren't as great, but I decided to check out West Side Story, the newer one, and it just sucked. It was terrible. It was bad. I didn't like it. I gave it 1 star, no heart. I don't know. The acting was whatever. The storyline was ridiculous. I have not seen the original West Side Story, so I'm kicking myself in the ass for not seeing that. I don't recommend this one, and that's all I'm gonna say. I hate sitting here talking shit about movies, but man, that one just was a big upset. Also on the flight back, I watched Sing 2. This one was a delight and a surprise. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. I don't really dig animated films, but this one was fun. And I did like this one better than the first one. I didn't dislike Sing 1. It was a bit boring at times. It needed to pick it up, But this one was good. It was entertaining all the way through. And I liked the songs. So check that one out if you like animated things. This month, I also watched Dark Shadows, which is another Johnny Depp movie. I believe this movie was a reincarnation of a TV series or something like that. I don't know. People like to shit on this one just because it didn't do the previous one justice, but I haven't seen the previous one, so I really liked this one. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. It's just a fun, entertaining flick. Johnny Depp plays a vampire, so it's kind of groovy. I also watched Once Upon a Time in Mexico because Johnny Depp is also in this one. I forgot how good this movie was. I remember watching it back in the day, and I liked it because, you know, I felt like Antonio Banderas was a big heartthrob back in the day. And I was a big fan of the original Desperado. But yeah, I forgot how good this one was. It is very entertaining. It's very action-packed. And I spent a good majority of the movie trying to decide who was more attractive, Johnny Depp or Antonio Banderas. And honestly, I feel like I still think Antonio Banderas is the better-looking dude. What do you guys think? Hit me in the comments below and let me know. Who do you think is more attractive between Antonio Banderas and Johnny Depp? It's got to be Antonio Banderas, right? Whatever. Anyway, 3 stars and a heart. That one was good. Next up, I watched Johnny Be Good because it has a young RDJ in it. And I gave it 3 stars and a heart. It had that nostalgia feel to it. But honestly, it was okay. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I saw it. Do I ever need to see it again? Probably not. But 3 stars and a heart. It's a good flick to watch. Good 80s flick. Then I watched Secret Window with Johnny Depp because this is one of my favorite Depp flicks. I love this movie. I love the fact that he's a writer. I love the fact that he is a recluse. I just love how he portrays his character in this film. I love how it's suspenseful and thrilling, but it doesn't pop over that hill to horror necessarily, and it kind of gives you those Stephen King vibes, you know? I am well aware that this was adapted from a Stephen King novel, okay? I made the comment some other time ago about how Secret Window had Stephen King vibes, and I think people thought that I didn't know that it was based off of a Stephen King book. I do know that, but the movie itself, it just feels like a Stephen King book, and it gives you those Stephen King vibes. That's why Stephen King movies are just so well loved, because they all have a certain vibe to it, and I just absolutely love it. But yeah, definitely check this one out. I gave it 4 stars and a heart. It is one of my favorite Depp movies of all time, and I'm not just saying that. Then I watched X. I was gonna do a movie review of this one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna anymore. I gave it 3 stars and a heart. So I appreciate the cinematography in this flick. I appreciate the acting. I appreciate the story, but I think the hype got to me on this one. Everything that I was hearing was, it's so original. The story is so crazy and different. It's out of this world. It's the best horror movie of the last 10 years, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't looking for reviews or anything. These were just things I was hearing. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, I mean, the storyline isn't that original. You know, it's not that original. The story's been done before. And unfortunately, a horny old lady is not enough to make me push this movie over the edge into 4 stars. You know what I mean? If anything, it kind of just grosses me out a little bit. I mean, the kill scenes in this movie are top notch. Like that first kill scene, man, the cinematography on that scene and the acting was just so great. It was so great. But then when they took you down into the basement and you got to see what was kind of going on in there, but they never explained it through the rest of the movie, you were just left to think or know what was going on there. It's just fucking disgusting. Really turned me off. The horny old lady aspect of this movie just really turned me off. I don't find that to be horrifying. I find it to be ridiculous and disgusting and whatever. But I did like it. I will probably watch it again. I bought it. Am I going to buy the 4K? I doubt it. This one looked actually really great. So I don't know what else 4K can give this one. Maybe I'll wait and see what the reviews on the 4K are. If it comes out without a slipcover, I'm really not fucking buying it. Like Malignant. I am going to buy Malignant because I did get in touch with somebody about doing me up a slipcover for that one. But Malignant, I absolutely loved that one. So it's worth paying to have a custom slipcover. Okay. All right, last but certainly not least, and a recommendation for my man Born to be Rad, I watched Firstborn. I absolutely loved this one. I wasn't expecting it though. I thought it was gonna be your typical 80s comedy, coming of age movie, if you will. It ended up not being that way. It ended up being a movie that really touched on some serious themes of family life and family dynamics and what maybe kids go through when it's not going so well, and it's kind of heartbreaking but also heartwarming in the end, and you kind of want to punch the mom in the face the whole time. But it was a good watch, so I highly recommend watching that one. All right, guys, that is it. Those are my May watches. Hit me in the comments below and let me know what you're gonna watch based off my recommendations, and maybe what you're not gonna watch now that I told you what I thought of it. I don't know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you guys greatly. If you would like to further help support me and my channel, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and kill that bell for your girl, and share me with your friends. If you'd like to further help support me and my channel, I do have a Patreon you can check out. All of that crap will be linked in the description below. It just helps keep my dream alive, yourselves entertained, these beautiful lights on in this beautiful building. But until the next time we gather, have a killer day.